Oh, sorry guys, I'm double booked again. I've got a parent-teacher night on Monday night, so I won't be able to make the meeting. So I thought I'd just make a video talk through of the slides that I've created. This first one is a worldwide image of the existing programs or countries that run green power programs. I'm getting a lot of help from the Spanish engineers, obviously all through the UK. Yeah, there's nothing down here in Australia. Closest one is Singapore and Malaysia, nothing in New Zealand. And Greenpower are making all the right noises for Tasmania to become the Australasian capital of Greenpower. I can't believe how lucky we are. The second slide, there's only 11. The second slide is a bit of a history of how it came about. Once upon a time we have Salamanca 6 Hour, which is a human-powered vehicle race, and it still happens on the mainland in a big way, and that is why we don't get green power in Australia, although they have had one or two small interests contact them, but we are the most determined one so far. The Salamanca 6 Hour sprung off the Maryborough Energy Challenge, which is in Victoria, little country town, smaller than Ulverston, doesn't have a hive, so there's no I rode through there on the motorbike once, and there's no information to say that it's a massive human-powered vehicle race venue. Yeah, it's a great program developed by Country Education Project, which is a state government education program. Yeah, I think, yep, the website's here. What have we got there? Mail. That's their website. And in South Australia, there's the Australian International Pedal Prix. This is the reason why we don't have green power in Australia. Tasmania's a little different. And that's their website. And they have 6 races all over the south of Australia, and that's obviously green power. Let's go back to the slides. So I did a survey after the Salamanca 6 Hour died. It was run by Rosny College and a couple of tech teachers there, new principal, and it died a natural death. I was determined not to copy the burnout of Rosny College, so that's why I'm sort of persevering with a not-for-profit organisation that I think will have a lot more scope and distance than an individual school. I did a survey, and I was quite surprised that quite a high percentage of them wanted an EV challenge. So I actually started investigating and building my own. Then I discovered green power, and green power is made for Tasmania, and Tasmania is made for green power. It's a UK program. It's well organised. The kits are well made, well designed. We've actually been offered to make them here, which I can't believe, because we're so far from the UK. Green Power UK have suggested that we build them in Tasmania, and then Hive came along, and Hive and Green Power are made to be together, and Green Power and Hive are made to be together. They've got their own science display, STEM activity area. What a great place to put a permanent display. The industry in Ulverston would be capable of building kits. We'd have to buy the electric motors and batteries from International. We could do the rest, and slowly develop into a championship type of event. Let's go to the next slide. Yeah, the Goblin and the F24 are the two vehicles for Year 6 and high school vehicles. They're great kits. They're just amazing. The F24 comes in 2 pieces plus the motors and etc. And the Goblin is like a flat pack. Very well engineered. Save a whole heap of work. And they would work very well here. And you finish them, the students finish them off into anything they desire. That's their design comes in. And the F24 pluses can build their own scratch builds. You don't have to use a kit. But as I was told by the Spanish organization, it's good for them to learn to make mistakes on a kit and then gradually work their way up. So what have I got here? Oh, that's that short video, YouTube video that I created for Greenpower Tasmania. Greenpower Tasmania is a celebration of our hydropower through a STEM challenge. We're very, very lucky to have hydro, and this just slips in perfectly with it. So much so that I have actually had a lot of support from Tas Networks and so on. Next slide. What have I got here? Oh, biannual event probably to start with. Big events cost schools money, and like drama shows, they need to be biannual. Tasmanian built kits, approximately 2,000 retail, maybe cheaper because they're built locally, and also you don't actually need the kits. You could actually build a scratch build, but it's a great way to learn because there is no welding in the kits. It's just assembly. And yeah, Tasmania to become the licensee of Greenpower UK. Supporting hands-on students. These are not models. They are full-size vehicles. So you need welders and to build scratch builds. You need welding and so on. It's a completely different ball game to F1 in schools or the Solar Challenge, which are models. These are the real deal, and we're utilising our renewable energy. What have I got here? Power. Oh, okay. So Greenpower, we will have to pay for the license, a yearly license of I think it's about $1,500 plus a vehicle racing license, which is not that bad. For what it is, it's not that expensive. I can supply all the technical support and for volunteers and teachers through our Tasmanian website. I'm looking for a local council partnership. I'm just about to sign on the dotted line for a couple of contracts with Greenpower, but I thought I'd ask Central Coast Council and Hive before I sign them. Things have slowed down a bit because they are going through a bad patch of COVID. I've been trying to get in touch with the CEO, and he's not replying to my messages and has been sick. Hive is the point of difference for Ulverston, and Greenpower and Hive go hand in hand. The pros. Regional EV motorsport is STEM in action. We talk about EVs all the time in the community. Kits can be made in Tasmania. I mean, that's just mind-blowing. We could export to New Zealand, other parts of Australia, and Asia. A series of races across Tasmania, even in winter. I'd love to go to Tulla. Mainland invitation races will eventually happen. Let's have a look. Let's keep going. The cons. Schools do find cross-curricular activities a little harder to administer. So it's not for every school all the time. You actually have to be in the space that you actually want to do this type of program. I've had a lot of interest from non-schools, but they're dealing with disengaged youth programs and things like that. You actually have to be ready to run a program like this. The kits are expensive. They will, well, for a school they're expensive. If you can get a grant to buy a kit, then you're home and hosed. Collaborations will need to happen between businesses and education. In Tassie, we tend not to do that, but in the UK, it has to be seen to be believed. The support that business gives schools is phenomenal. They even actually build these vehicles or assemble these kits in their backyards, in garages, to give to schools. I think that is amazing. The non-for-profit organisation thing has to happen because, you know, if and when I retire or I want to leave this, I want the program to keep going. And the best way to do that is to create a non-for-profit organisation. That's just some information about the races. The races are very different to the human-powered races that race for 6 and 8 and 24 hours. The racing with these electric vehicle races are 2 in a day, and they're 90 minutes long, which makes for a great spectator event. They're quiet. They travel around about 30 kilometres an hour. So they could be run in car parks, which is sort of cool. I really like the idea of an actual school activity that the public can relate to and interact with, rather than putting us on a velodrome somewhere that people will have to make an assertive effort to go and see. Whereas if you're racing in the local car park, they'll see you. I think that's pretty amazing. Yeah, starting here on the northwest coast, I think regional Tassie is ripe for this sort of event, and eventually right across Tasmania. But Ulverston would be the national headquarters. This is just a few of the supports that I've been given verbally through LinkedIn. Dr. David Butler from Tas Networks suggests his organisation has 8 hours of community service that he would like to see spent excuse me, on this event. Devonport Car Show is very interested. Yeah, we're looking for a partnership, a race venue, a permanent display, a meeting venue for workshops and training. What do we do now? Establish a working group. I'd love to do that. I know TMEC and Tas Uni and Burnie would love to get involved. TAFE, obviously. I've spoken to Tas Uni and in Launceston, and they're interested. The problem is not the willingness of educational organisations. It's actually the admin side of it that will take time. Yeah, I think that's it, is it? Yep. Let's go back. So there you go. Sorry about missing our scheduled meeting. I wanted to show you this, Andrew, but this is the next best thing. I'll get in touch with you soon. Cheers.